Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chilchats. This is the first session that we've got. It's going to be a short 10-15 minute session, meeting some people within health and safety, asking them some questions and finding out a little bit more about them. So today's guest is Kevin Barr. So on his CV, we've got roles such as auditor, HSEQ support, HSEQ manager, head of health and safety, receptionist, linen porter, Chiltern branch secretary, and all-round good guy. Welcome to Chilchats, Kevin.
Thank you for having me on, Luke.
That's not a problem.
You've gone back very far to sort of like teenage CV.
I know. I looked at your LinkedIn profile and I thought I've got to put on there linen porter as well.
That was a very first job that I ever had straight out of school, which was always a fun one. And in a sense, did sort of lead to where I ended up today, as I guess all things do.
Yeah, you end up on a path and you get to there. So I will kick off. So Kevin, we've got 6 questions, 3 professional ones and 3 a little bit different. So first one, Kevin, is how did you get into health and safety? What was your route?
Well, since you brought up linen portering, I guess I'll start all the way back then. I didn't do particularly well in school for reasons I won't go into, but I went straight into the workforce. I got my first job as a linen porter working in a hotel for a company that many people, especially if they are connected to FM, facilities management anyway, ISS, Facilities Services. Not that I knew them as a big company, I was just there working for a lovely woman called Mary. Fast forward quite a few years into the future, I was looking for work. I knew Mary outside of work because she lived local to me, and she actually hired me on as a temporary auditor just to sort some of her contracts out where she worked for ISS. And that's effectively where I got my first glimpse into compliance management. So I didn't just look at the health and safety aspects, it was sort of the full compliance, employment, and in general compliance with the company's procedures. So it was very much about looking at what the problems were and then putting fixes in. And it sort of got me my first little high of compliance management. While I was working there, sort of got quite friendly with other health and safety people as it was sort of a joint, and that led me eventually into a health and safety auditor, which was the very first health and safety specific role that I had working at ISS. And as you went through my CV, it sort of progressed from there. We went from being an advisor to getting more qualifications and training into becoming an advisory role instead of an auditory role, and then into health and safety management, where I was actually given my own sort of patch to manage within ISS in the hospitality, cleaning, transport sectors. I worked there for 8 years overall. It was a great company to work for, had a great time working there, learned a lot from the way they work as a large global, sort of 3rd largest facilities management company in the world style business. A few years ago, just at the beginning of the pandemic, I was already looking to progress into something where I had more control over what was going on. So I looked to start working for SMEs. A lot of people said I was crazy to do it during the pandemic. It'd be over in a few months. I didn't feel like waiting, which was probably a good call at the time, since I think we're still sort of sitting in some of the aftermath of it. I went and worked for a company called Henschel & Sheehy. It was a very, very small SME in hard FM. And it was great. I got really stuck in, could sort of just build my own systems, build my own way and what I thought safety looked like. I ended up winning awards for the company, got featured in magazines for the changeover and the cultural progress that was made within the company, developed my own cultural improvement program. It was brilliant. But
it's quite satisfying to build something up from the ground up and really put your own stamp on it, isn't it?
Yeah, I spent so many years sort of working to somebody else's system. Really wanted to prove to myself, I guess, and that I was capable of doing that on my own and sort of leading from that position. And that eventually led me on to where I am now, where I head up a HSQ department. I've got people working for me, and I work for a much larger company. They call them, what services they say they are now, a group metropolitan, a turnkey fit out company. pretty much anything to do with the built environment, electrical, mechanical, fabric, offices, data centers, schools, anything to do with, again, so a lot of CDM and a lot of principal contract and principal design roles I'm trying to keep an eye on.
It's an interesting sort of flow from where you started and getting the opportunities and coming through.
That's it. I think a lot of people are like me in that area. I mean, I met quite a few people that went to university these days and got straight into it. But a lot of people I meet, they kind of just, you don't choose health and safety as a role. It sort of chooses you. You're just going through the motions of following your passions and following what your interests are, and following where your career progression leads. And then you find yourself in this amazing role where you get to, do what I do every day, which I suggest everybody should do.
So we're going to change tact a little bit, Kevin. What is your go-to karaoke song?
It's been a while since I've been to karaoke, so I should definitely try and get back to it another day. But for me, the go-to is always going to be "Eye of the Tiger." I actually don't know who sings it, which is probably horrible, but it's such a popular and well-known song. I'm sure everyone knows what "Eye of the Tiger" is from Rocky. And I typically choose it because it's a simple song that sounds great, and I can definitely remember it when I've had a few drinks.
I can see you running up those steps.
Just running up there, just screaming "Eye of the Tiger" at the top of my lungs. Don't remember half the words, sort of slurring my way through it, and then every now and then scream "Eye of the Tiger."
We'll go back to sensible questions now. So what is the thing that you most enjoy at this present moment about being in the health and safety profession?
It's probably the same thing that I've always enjoyed about it, outside of my compulsive need for compliance and beautiful systems. It's that what I do makes a difference. We all have jobs and works that we go to and careers that we have. They're a means to an end for most people. And in the same sense it is. I'm still a father, I'm still a husband, I've still got a family that I take care of and a life outside of work. But what I do for my job and my career is more than just an income. I know that when I finish a project or I get through a big part of what I do for my work, that it makes a real tangible difference to the people that work at Group Metropolitan and all the places I've worked at in the past, to know that I've made things better than they were before I came along. Beyond the very significant commercial benefits to a good health and safety system and health and safety manager, there's that knowledge that it's possible, very likely, hopefully, that there will be less injuries, that somebody who was going to be injured or seriously injured that's not going to happen because I was there and I did something proactively to ensure it never happened.
Good answer, Kevin. It's all about the people, isn't it? That's the main thing in health and safety. It's about making a difference for people.
That's it. You can work as I hate all the salespeople that will hate me forever now. You could work in sales and you could make your company millions and millions of pounds. But at the end of the day, how much did it really matter beyond the people at the top and the CEOs and the board of directors and the people involved in the actual earning of the money? It all gets filtered to the top. What we do in IOSH matters to everybody, especially the people at the bottom that are actually doing the work and want to be able to go home safely to their families.
Okay, Kevin. So early in my career, I got a degree in filmmaking, and I've had a call, and they're making the Kevin Barr movie, and they want to know who is going to play your role.
I think most people have probably thought about who they would like to play them in a movie. The person I would pick doesn't look anything like me, but is probably one of my favorite actors at the time and general favorite people that I like is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Absolutely star of a human being. Hopefully, depending on, I've never met him in real life, but depending on at least how he perceives himself, but just his style of leadership, his style of management, the way he's sort of struggled to get to where he is today and understands the progression of his own career is just amazing. And obviously, he's a phenomenal actor. I'd also need to get, I can't believe I've completely forgotten his name now. I was literally had it on the tip of my tongue before I started talking. Oh well, it'll come again.
I think, Kevin, I've come up with a name, the title for the film.
Okay.
Kevin Barr, Raising the Bar.
That sounds about right.
Featuring
Probably just Kevin raising the bar. But yeah.
Kevin, what is the biggest risk or opportunity that's there for health and safety in the future?
I've had a lot of discussions about this over the last few years, especially everything going on with COVID as well. And I think it's just the word sustainability. It means so many different things to so many different people, and it hasn't really sort of landed in one place. And I'm sure a lot of people think that it has. They think, well, actually, I know what it means, and this is what it means. But if you speak to a different person in a different industry or in a different department or a different point in their lives, it means something completely different. A lot of people see it as just an environmental thing. Sustainability means environmental sustainability. If you speak to quality managers or senior managers, sustainability is about business continuity and sustainability of their business model. And it's not explicitly about the environmental aspects. And you speak to a health and safety person, sustainability means those things as well, but it's also about how health and safety fits into the sustainability model of a business and how we can make sure that health and safety itself is sustainable. And I see it sort of as a risk and an opportunity. There's the risk it becomes a buzzword, and people will keep throwing around the word sustainability, but it doesn't mean anything. It's just saying we have a sustainable business. Brilliant. How? Show me this. Did you do this? Is it environmental? Is it business? Is it health and safety? Is it people? Is it what the long-term supply chain is? But then there's also the opportunity for people in our profession to become those experts and guide businesses to understand it's not this little buzzword. It has a massive commercial impact on the business and on the planet and on people as a whole if it's getting done right.
Yeah, I think when it comes to sustainability, never has a word had so many meanings and so many linked to so many things. In the last couple of years, you're hearing it so often with people, with health and safety, with environment, with everything. It's all about sustainability, and it's a big opportunity for the future, but it's also a risk that it does become a buzzword and it loses meaning, loses its edge. So, Kevin, I'm a bit like Thanos in the Avengers. I can click my fingers, but it doesn't get rid of half the population. It solves all of the health and safety problems in the world. What is your next job? What's that dream job? If all of those health and safety problems, all of those issues are gone, what are you doing?
It's sort of two parts of there. The first one is probably nothing, since I assume we're all either in some sort of Jeff Salt hive minds system, or we've all been replaced by robots, and no one has any feelings or cares or worries left in the world, or we're all dead, because that's the only way I can see all the health and safety related problems disappearing magically from the world. Like asking a genie, I don't want there to be any health and safety problems anymore. Humanity vanishes from existence. But in this hypothetical world, my second job, and something I thought about a lot when I was starting out my career, would be a dog trainer. Absolutely love dogs, love training dogs. I have my own award-winning obedience dog that I spent many years training, and then COVID happened, and after about 2 years of just sort of going on random little dog walks in the park, he sort of does whatever he wants now, and I've given up on that. But we can try again with the next one. he mostly just wants to have a little wander. He still listens perfectly fine. He's still very, very obedient and very happy and very cheerful about things. But whereas before he would do a perfect heel and stay for half an hour in one spot, tell him to stay and turn your back, it'll wander off.
Kevin, that is the end of the questions. It's been fantastic to speak to you.
Same.
It's a format. We've tried the format. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, we've had a lovely half an hour together, and we'll always have that, Kevin. So
yes.
Thank you so much for your time today.
No problem. It was great speaking to you.
And I will see you soon.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Kevin.